everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a book haul because it's been 3 months since my last one and I have accumulated a rather large pile of books, which you can see in the thumbnail. So whenever I do my monthly wrap-ups on my blog, I'll include the list of books that I've bought and stuff, but a lot of the time I get sent books from publishers as well, so I thought I would do the physical books I've got because the ebooks I have hauled in the last 3 months is like the longest list ever, and it will take me until 2018 to go through them all. So I thought I would just do my physical books today. This won't be in order, by the way, it's just like whatever book I will grab in this big bundle of them that I just threw on my bed after taking my thumbnail because effort. So we'll start with the most recent one just because it was the first on the pile and it's the first one I can remember buying. So I have the whole of the Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir that is out at the moment. So that includes An Ember in the Ashes, A Torch Against the Night and A Reaper at the Gates. I've already read the first 2 books and I'm currently reading Reaper, but I didn't own these because I got them from the library. So when I saw them in the works in the 3 for £5 deal, I thought, wow, what a steal, I better get those. And yeah, I have the old covers of these books, but I just, even though it doesn't match, I don't really care. I'd rather get like books as cheap as I can get them, really, because that's more my thing rather than matching. Like, it doesn't bother me as it would bother some other people. So An Ember in the Ashes is about Laya of Sarah, I think that's how you pronounce both those words, not really sure, and her grandparents have been murdered by the police of the place that she lives, and she has no one because her brother has also been taken into prison for treason. So she finds a rebellious group who are going against the government and the police in the place she lives, and they want her to go undercover in the academy where people train to become the police. Not really the police though, because they are what are they called? I've forgotten, but they wear masks and stuff and they're like really like violent. So yeah. And then there is Elias, who is training to be one of these like police people, but he doesn't want to be there, and he's only there because his mother is the commandant, whatever, and he doesn't really know what to do himself. And then Elias and Laya meet up and they start working together, and yeah, so I've already read these 2. I loved An Ember in the Ashes, and then A Torch Against the Night kind of broke me because it's just full of like genocide. So like it's incredible, but like be careful when you're going into it because there is so much heavy topics in it and I don't want you to like be hurt by it. So yeah, I don't like have a full list of content warnings in my head right now, but there is a lot, so make sure if there is something that upsets you or triggers you or just makes you like uncomfortable, go look up a list of content warnings because you will need them for these. And yeah, I'm like 100 pages into Reaper, really enjoying it, and I love the green of this cover. And then because I was in the works and I got 2 of the books in the 3 for £5 deal, I also got I Heart Paris by Lindsay Kelk, because, well, I couldn't see anything else, and I've read the first 2 books in the series and this is the 3rd book, so I thought, well, I'll just buy it because 3 books for £5, including one that I was eventually going to read anyway. Really good deal. So yeah, the first book, which is I Heart New York, is about a girl whose she finds out her boyfriend, not really sure, is shagging another bird, and so she decides YOLO and moves. Sounds so ridiculous coming from my mouth. She decides YOLO. So yeah, she decides to move to New York and become like a kind of reporter kind of person that's involved in like articles online and like shopping, and she falls in love with the city and decides she's gonna live there, again completely against her family's wishes. And then she's like, because she's so heartbroken by everything, she kind of starts like messing around with a bunch of different guys and for the first time in her life she feels like free and stuff. And then we have I Heart LA, and then I Heart Paris. So I'm quite excited to read this eventually, because I really enjoyed I Heart New York. I didn't like I Heart LA as much, but I really love Lindsay Kelk's books. It's like, I read Always the Bridesmaid years ago and I adored that. It was one of the first reviews I posted on my blog, and Lindsay Kelk liked it. So yeah, I have a good feeling about this. And I've met her as well, she's lovely. Next we have one of my most anticipated books of the year, and I have already read it, already loved it. There's a lot of like controversy about certain parts of this book, and like I haven't done my review of it yet, but I will talk about it in that, and that is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. Becky Albertalli is one of my absolute favourite authors, and she's only got 3 books out, but I've loved all 3 of them. Especially like The Upside of Unrequited, which was like the first book I ever saw the word pansexual even spoken about in regards to a character, and it meant so much to me. And like you can probably see in the camera that I've got my pansexual flag, and it just means a lot to me, like reading something like that. So yeah, so Leah on the Offbeat is the kind of, it's a sequel, but it's like, it's from Leah's perspective of, so it's the sequel to Love, Simon, but it's also kind of not the sequel in the way that it's not from Simon's perspective, it's from Leah's perspective, and it's about the same group of characters but involving like 2 who weren't the 2 main, like the main ones in Simon, if you know what I mean. So Leah is a bisexual girl who is chubby, and no one knows that she's bisexual apart from her mother, and she's so brash and I adored her. I feel like she's just like me really sometimes, but yeah, she doesn't know what she's doing with her life. She thinks she likes a girl who she thinks she can't like, and things are kind of falling apart in her world because it's like a final year of school and everyone's getting a bit like edgy with each other. So yeah. And then recently I got the Chamber of Secrets 20th anniversary edition, with in the Slytherin style, sprayed edges, all green, nice and black and green, and that matches. I have the Philosopher's Stone edition up there on my shelves. So yeah, like Chamber of Secrets is my least favourite version, my least favourite of the whole series, and like I kind of begrudge buying another copy because like I don't even, like when I reread it I kind of skip Chamber of Secrets because it just annoys me. But like I want to have the whole set because I'm sure they're eventually going to come out with all of them, which I feel like they should just announce, because like we already know, just like say, oh yeah, the whole thing's coming, or maybe they have done that, I don't know. So yeah, this has a couple of like new things inside it that like we haven't had before, and I'm excited to add this to my shelf and just stare at it because I think they're gorgeous. So I've like just realised I've subconsciously like sectioned this. So the next book is the last book that I bought myself, like went into a shop or went online and ordered. Like I have few ones to talk about, but I consider them different to the ones that I've gone and ordered, if you know what I mean. So the final book I bought was Tiny Pretty Things by Sona Charipotra. Sorry, I cannot, it's just too many vowels. And Donielle Clayton. This is about a ballet school, and I don't know much about it, but it's all about elite ballet dancers and like backstabbing, and it sounds really fun. Like I'm sure it's one of those books that's like just, it's like reading Gossip Girl, except Gossip Girl the books were shit. But it's apparently really diverse, which is what I'm all about, considering it's from an Indian author and a black author. So yeah, excited for this one. I think I'll get to it quite soon actually, like once I've got through my, like I've made a wee pile of stuff that I want to read like immediately, if you know what I mean, and I've got library books in there. There's one other book I bought because I'm silly. I also bought The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is about a bisexual Cuban actress and like telling her story of her life and the 7 husbands she's had and all the lovers in her life, and just as a memoir, but not a memoir because it's like she's told. I don't actually know too much about this. All I know is like everyone I follow and all my friends in the book community absolutely adore this book, so I need to read it. It is like on my little pile of books I need to get to immediately. And then we have my Fairy Loot books that I've accumulated, and so I'll start with Grace and Fury, which is the most recent one, which is about two sisters, was it? Yeah. Where they live in a world where women don't have rights, and one of them lives in high society and one of them lives in a kind of gladiator facility. That's all I really know about it. And then we have Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett. I do not know what this is about. I just quickly read it there, and it's about a girl who is the daughter of a man who committed high treason and how she's like trying to go through her life. I don't really know much bar that, but I think it's a gorgeous book, and like look at the sprayed black edges. I love sprayed black edges. And then we finally have Beyond a Darkened Shore by Jessica Leek. Again, don't really know much about this. Like the past few books from Fairy Loot have been like ones I've not heard about really, which is quite good because I don't think I would have picked them up otherwise, and I like that about it. But I don't know about this. So it's like about a young queen who has powers and stuff. I don't really know much else about it. But I like that. I like going into things I don't know how without knowing them, and I'm sure I'll leave like down below like the Goodreads pages for all these books, which will take me a while, but I will. So then we have books sent to me by publishers, Blackwing and Ravencry by Ed McDonald, and I haven't started this yet, but this is the first book and the sequel, and I've seen a lot of reviews of this and saying it's really good, so I'm excited to get to these eventually. And they've got gorgeous covers. I love the little like shiny specks. So Blackwing seems to be about like an area that's like no man's land between two countries that are fighting each other, and like there's like traitors and thieves, and I don't really know much else, but I have heard so many good things about this. And then we have an arc of Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian, which was sent to me by Macmillan. Well, my kind of book from Macmillan. It's an epic fantasy novel, and this is about a princess who watched her mother die when she was a child, and her father is a horrible king, and it's about like how she learns to rebel against that, I think, and her journey to become queen. So yeah, it sounds really good. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. Then we have A Whole Lot of Love by Louise Lee, which was sent to me by Headline through BookBub, and I did a blog tour post for this book. It is the third book in a series of like crime novels, but I think they seem like quite like nice quirky crimes, kind of like an Agatha Raisin kind of thing. I think She's Always on Holiday where the crimes are. I haven't read the first two books, but I think now getting this from a publisher will prompt me to go find them at the library or something, because even though I'm not a massive crime fan, I like ones that are like more quirky than just like your standard like dark gritty crime. Like I like watching Agatha Raisin on the telly, and yeah, so I actually think I might enjoy this even though it's not my kind of thing. Oh, and make sure to check out my blog post, it's got a wee sampler of it. And then my final two books were sent to me by Hotkey Books, which is an imprint of Bonnier Zafir, and that is there is Electrical Venus by Julie Mayhew, which is about a travelling circus, which sounds amazing, and they sent me like a feather and some sort of other stuff with it, the popping candy. I thought that was really cool, wasn't expecting that, so yeah, I actually think this will be really good. It's quite small as well, so I should get through it really quickly when I get around to it. And then the last one is My Heart Goes Bang by Kerry Stainton. It's like a book set in uni and about friends, and I just thought it would be a really good contemporary for the summer, and I might get to this really soon because I'm right in the mood for summer contemporaries about friends and about uni because I miss uni. In editing this video, I realised I completely forgot to include a book sent to me by Hodder and Stoughton, which is Smoke in the Sun by Renee Ahdieh, which is a sequel to Flame in the Mist. And Flame in the Mist is about a girl who is betrothed to the kind of Emperor's son, and on her way to meet him she get her convoy of like walking things, you know, like they walk like this, and she's like inside a little thing, gets attacked by a bunch of like bandits, and so she's the only one who survives, so she runs into the forest and gets attacked by some mad mystical magical being, and then since she cuts her hair so she can look like a boy, because she knows if she were to look like a woman she would be attacked, maybe raped, God knows what. So yeah, so it's kind of like, it's like inspired by Mulan, but it's like not this, it's not a retelling or anything like that, it's just something like it came from the idea of Mulan. So yeah, that was my huge pile of books that I have accumulated from buying and publishers. Yeah, I'm sure I will have a book haul up beginning of next month, because I'm going to Yalc at the end of this month. Is it Yalc or Yale? Is it Yalc or YALC? I am not sure. But yeah, I'm going to that, so I'm sure I will pick up so many books. It is unreal, and I am so excited. It's like BookCon for Britain, and this is the first year I'm going, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing. So if you are going, or if you have been before, leave me a comment or talk to me on Twitter, because I am excited but also very anxious because I don't know what to expect. Thank you for watching. If any of the books that I spoke about intrigued you, I am going to leave their links for their Goodreads down below. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Goodreads, which I will leave below, as well as my blog, which is kirstyreadsblog.wordpress.com, where I post all my reviews and some blog tours and my wrap-ups and stuff as well. If you could leave me a like or subscribe, I would be very thankful, and I'm excited to welcome you into my little my very, very small sphere of people at the moment. Yeah, bye! Bye! Bye. Then we have